Like I said in this channel multiple times, I grew up with Pokemon. My first experience with it was playing my brother's Pokemon Red and Yellow games in a Game Boy he had, and I couldn't help but to fall in love with this awesome world. Watching the anime with my siblings and singing the songs was a highlight of the experience, and it followed me and my friends for years and years. Even when I got the only operation I had in my life, they got me after the operation, a Game Boy SP with Pokemon Ruby, making this a canon event. I couldn't run away from it, and I will continue sharing this passion with my brothers and my cousins in different ways, making us really enjoy this awesome franchise to its very core. But then something happened. Generations 7 and 8 destroyed my hopes of the games becoming better. I know there are a lot of fans of these generations, and I do love the art and the regions of these games, but the gameplay just destroyed any hope I had for the franchise, making me start to leave it behind. But then Pokemon Legends Arceus showed us what a Pokemon game could be if they finally started to drift away from that boring mainline series. They let us throw Pokeballs in real time and catch a variety of Pokemon while making use of them to traverse the world and collect items, introducing new battle mechanics that made one, if not the hardest fight in the entire franchise possible. And with this, I was back into the hype of the franchise, maybe even more than ever. It pushed me to create this channel and start learning game design. Pokemon Legends Arceus is an important game to me. I always talk about important games of my past like Kingdom Hearts, Zelda, the old Pokemon games, Dark Cloud, Final Fantasy. But this game became a canon event now, after me having hair in my balls and everything. And for it to reach those levels, being a franchise that I deemed dead, was a spectacular turn of events. But then Gen 9 made me start kind of losing hope again. The game was okay, but it showed that those wild steps forward outside of the norm that Legends did were not gonna stay. They stopped to be safe, and it killed the momentum again for me. I didn't even touch the DLC of those games. You could like them, but for me they are a scam and a place where game design goes to die. And to this day, I still think this is the worst Pokemon design to ever grace our eyes. Just fucking look at it. But years after, we actually got a sequel of that game that made me fall in love with Pokemon all over again. And it's finally here. I played it, I finished it, and well, does it keep the momentum of the past Legend games? Does it feel like I said it would in my video about the story behind Game Freak and the Pokemon games? Did I got anything right in my predictions video? Well, let me tell you my 100% honest thoughts and review of the most important Pokemon game to this day. Pokemon Legends CA. Well, let's start with something games do since forever that I fucking hate, and I can only deem it as bad freaking design. The games take too long to freaking start. The beginning is so poorly paced, it constantly takes control out of you, and it makes you feel like you are in a roller coaster park with your mom grabbing your arm, not letting you do what you want until you finish talking with her friends that want to tell you how much you've grown up with lipstick on their yellow teeth while you have no freaking clue who they are. Like, what the fuck is this? And like I said, this is a problem that lots of games have, not just Pokemon, but it feels fucking awful in this game, because the soul of Pokemon is exploring, walking and finding something that catches your eye and going there and freaking learn more about the world. But when a freaking plain boring character that feels like this, at this point stops you on your tracks because we know you want to explore, but you can only explore until we say you want to, feels like a freaking kick in the balls. I played the Digimon demo and the game is so much freaking fun, but the cutscenes and the hand holding is the freaking same. Just let me fucking play! You want to surpass Pokemon, so copy the good parts, not the bad ones too. Fucking shit! I know I have to go right, don't put a freaking cutscene showing me I have to go fucking right! But yes, if you can play this game, you're gonna love it if you like Pokemon. Good Digimon game. Good soup. So I'm just gonna throw all of this tutorial shit on the side and call it bad. You know it's bad, I know it's bad, so let's move on and talk about the game now. Like I said, this game has a huge shoe to fill, since Pokemon Legends Arceus is the first one to change the Pokemon formula. And this game, I'm happy to say, it kept that ball rolling, introducing a completely new fighting style. You no longer have the turn-based RPG style that this game helped popularize with Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, and that kept its competitive side so freaking fired up. Now we have a real-time battle mechanic that I'm happy to say is better than the Xenoblade one. Oh shit, I'm sorry, but you know how I feel about that one. If not, here's the video. It still keeps that RPG soul, but now you can change Pokemon to try to dodge attacks, you can move around with your Pokemon to dodge certain moves, or even get out of attacks that now have area of effect. Now you can even have better positioning to bait enemies to enter your attacks, and this battle system feels amazing. But with all of that said, it can still feel like just pushing A to win sometimes. That's just inherently a flaw that Pokemon design has because of the levels and the types. But in hard battles and even online, this mechanic feels fucking rewarding when you aren't getting gangbanged by 3 other dudes. You see, in Pokemon there are moves that are straight up garbage and that have specific uses outside of battles like Whirlpool and shitty moves like Fire Spin and shit. That work as HMs in the past or a way to keep Pokemon from running away, making them easier to catch. But here those old low value moves now have been given new life in this battle system, because now they work as traps. You can use Phantom to leave an area that will do damage over time to whomever steps in it, meaning you can actually hit more than one enemy with it, and you can use other moves to punch the enemy and leave them inside that area and make your damage just skyrocket, and making you feel fucking amazing for making use of your whole kit. The other moves that seem fucking strong in this system are the priority moves. You see, in the new battle system, positioning, like we could deduce by the AoE attacks, is pretty important. But another thing you have to be aware of is your cooldowns. Now your moves, instead of PP, they have this cooldown that prevents you from spamming them, and you have to wait for it to finish to use the move again, and the cooldowns are lowered by the speed stat of your Pokemon, making you have to play around them to not be left unable to act for a couple of seconds, like in other games. And these priority moves now serve 3 purposes. Moves like Quick Attack, Aqua Jet, Bullet Punch, and Extreme Speed are moves that 1. Have low cooldown, letting you have a cushion of attacks you can use to never stay just staring at the horizon. 2. Moves that close the gap between you and your opponents, so you could use harder hitting moves like Earthquake or Liquidation. And 3. Finishing moves. You could use strong moves to leave the enemy low, and because of the low cooldown you could use them to finish the enemy before it runs away or the opponent changes Pokemon, making moves like Quick Attack and freaking Aqua Jet skyrocket in value. They can be implemented in your strategy. For example, my strategy the whole game with my boy Alligator was to enter the fight with Aqua Jet. Then because I closed the gap, use Liquidation, and if they still had health, finish them with another Aqua Jet. Because the cooldown was so low that they couldn't run away from it. Because it is fast as fuck, boy! So no Pokemon was safe from my literally speeding instant transmission to Meters Crocodile. And there are moves that serve the opposite purpose, because there are moves that can be used as traps like spikes or stones or the spin moves, or moves that are strong and have a huge area of effect like Earthquake. Your Pokemon could be in danger after using a move, so there are moves like U-turn or flip turn that can be used for you to punch the enemy and then escaping from the danger and returning to your trainer, making not only your Pokemon positioning important, but also your trainers, bumping the strategy even one more notch. In other words, this battle system fucking worked and made me feel smart, powerful, or just a fucking monster. If you don't believe me, use Surf against the Pyroars in Area 15. This game is fucking nuts. Also, look at my Electros going up the stairs like a distinguished gentleman to punch the fuck out of another trainer's Pokemon. This game is so fun. So yeah, I do like the new battle system, and I think it's one of the freshest things this game gave to the franchise. But it won't change the old one, because the competitive is built around it, but it was awesome to experience a new form of Pokemon battles that actually work. Man, Rock Tomb puts a rock in the ground that you can use as cover or distraction. This is fucking smart design. There are things here and there that showcase that they do know game design. Like for example, now moves like Protect and Detect have to be used in the right moment instead of just protecting you because you clicked it, making it feel awesome when you connect a punch, defend yourself from a move that would have killed you, and retaliate to win the battle. This shit is good. Oh, and a quick one to end this battle section. The status effects now affect things that are important for this new battle system. Drowsy makes your cooldowns longer. Paralysis makes your Pokemon move slower, making it sometimes unable to reach the enemy to connect an attack, and Confusion makes them move weird, adding to that dull short attack pattern difficulty. This shit is just smart, and a lot of people miss all of this because, well, you can use your level 100 starter to win, unless you're fighting in the 10th trainer gauntlet in the restaurant. That shit was awesome and hard. But the battle system is good, but how about the exploration portion of the game? Well, it is okay. I called that there were going to be roof gardens. It was a no-brainer, and the Pokemon would be roaming the skies and just hanging in trees. I can't believe how right I am sometimes. It's just a burden, really. Makes me look like a douche. But now the game takes one step into the right direction again, making the game have a lot of obstacles for the player to get rid of with the help of their own Pokemon. No HMs, and not just throwing your Pokeball like in Legends, that I will keep trying to do, losing hundreds of Pokeballs in the process.
You are so dumb! You are really dumb! For real!
But now you can use metal, ground or fighting moves to break rocks in your way. And I like how I found a sludge in the freaking city, and without a tutorial or Mega Man, I used to deduce that water would get rid of it. Because if fighting moves work there, of course water moves would work here. And they did. Just those breadcrumbs the game design leave you help you to move around the game by your own, and that's good design. Or how there are silk bridges that you need to hit to build, but at the same time they are far away, making it impossible to hit it with a physical move with no range, and it felt awesome how I had to change Pokemon to use a range attack for being able to hit it and cross the bridge. It was awesome, and it makes me feel smart. And this goes on with thorns that can be born and shed, giving more value to your Pokemon and their moveset, because you always are going to need a range move, a fire move, and a move that can break the rocks. Sadly, it is like I always say, this is the bare minimum they could have done with it. And that's also a bummer, because they kept showing these bits of game design where they prove they know what the fuck they're doing, and that they could build an awesome experience, but they decide to leave it at the bare minimum version of implementation. But I'm gonna talk more about this later in the video, so it is going to be on the final test. Remember it, this is homework now. One of the biggest points of discussion when the game was coming out was that the whole game was going to be inside a city, instead of out in the wild like any other. And well, like I said before, if you want to play a Pokemon game that is like the others, bring good Pokemon back and shit mentality like that, well, go play those games. We are here to try new shit, and I really enjoyed the city view and how Pokemon live in it and the implementation of wild zones, because there are some that are a fucking adventure. Okay, no, I'm not going to kill this guy, sadly. Oh my god, come back. Run! No! Please. Nope, he got away. Jesus Christ, man, this zone is crazy. Got him. Please, stay in the fucking ball. There we fucking go. Why not another one? But at the same time, I have to agree that the map is a little bit small, and the graphics ain't helping it to be as amazing as it could. The freaking plain PNGs in the mesh is fucking distracting, and it is distracting. But it wouldn't be if the city had more interest points. We have the sewers and the Prism Tower and shit, but we need more outside of the wild zones, and this map could have been magnificent. Even though I enjoyed jumping through buildings and exploring the wild area, the streets needed more love poured into them. We needed this to feel like a lived-in city. Have people dancing on the streets in front of mirrors, carnivals, giant markets some days of the week, street Pokemon battles, Poke skaters or some shit like that. Phone times that have a chance of spawning Search and Bird or Water Pokemon. I don't know. We need more inside the city, not just the wild zones. Leaving the map being really cool actually, but it leaves you wanting more, and it feels, like I said, like the bare minimum. And well, I guess before saying like my thoughts, I need to talk about the story, and it is A Pokemon game. It has a really bread and butter story. It's not really anything special, and I hate that this keeps happening. But in a magical way, like in Scarlet and Violet, there is a sliver of good writing. In Scarlet and Violet, the quality of writing skyrocketed in the Area Zero, where characters could actually be characters, and we run away from the typical Pokemon story. But in here, even though the story is meh at best, the characters steal the show by a fucking mile. I think this is the strongest Pokemon cast we've ever had since forever, maybe. Lida is fucking cool and cute, Naveen is unapologetically cringe, and that's cool. And every single fucking, I don't know, let's call them gym leaders, is a fucking blast. The dumb strong one, with the Wheel of Steel, and her bitchy and cute sister. That is the brain behind the operation. The rich fairy trainer that is close to being my favorite character, along with her cat maid that trains fucking dragons and is just so fucking cool, and one of the best rivals a Pokemon game could have. Make something like her, but for the entire game next, please. The noob Team Flare group, comprised by the two most beautiful persons in Lumiose, alongside better Iono and his grandpa, and the best fucking characters in the whole franchise, Philippi and Corview? I don't know, guys, I can barely have pronunciation for these videos and you think I can speak French? But these are fucking banger characters. Urbane and Tawny can go eat pee pee poo poo. It's just okay. They aren't hope. They are not interesting in the least. And when they could be interesting, they just stop. They suck. They are not invited into this amazing cast of characters. And also, I love how these characters build the mood of the game. You see, in the prequel of this game called Pokemon X and Y, shit went bad, and the whole world almost beat it, so Lumiose is kind of in a post-World War II mood of everyone feeling low because the region and capital almost wipe human beings. You know, normal shit in Pokemon. So these gym leaders have different ideas of how to make the region better and help their people feel better. There isn't a single bad guy. It's just that everyone has different ideas of how to bring joy to the people. Some of them want to break the barriers between Pokemon and people, but this is dangerous, so they need to become strong, and they can teach them to become strong. Some of them want to make a mob-like group to help the ones in need with the help of the same town people, giving them funds to make the city prosper. Some of them want to make everyone a better trainer to have a better bond with Pokemon, and some of them want to become a united fan club so they can keep creating happiness from them. Like I said, this aspect of the game is fantastic. You can feel how everyone wants to fill that hole everyone have in their hearts after their city tried to, you know, apply a Thanos or shit, making these characters likable and amazing, with really good designs too. And the Mahasabot. And I didn't want to talk about this per se, but the new Megas range for fucking amazing to that is funny as fuck, fuckity fuck, to... Yeah, I get it, I wanted more out of this. That's all, I don't want to go in full detail with it. If I do, it will be in a future video, maybe, perhaps, not confirmed, maybe not happening. But now, with all of that said, is the game any good? Did it live to the expectations of Legends Arceus? Well, yes and no. The game is a step on the right direction again. It shows that Pokemon can evolve, and the more it separates from the formula that has been keeping it underwater for the past 20 years, it can shine and become an actual good game, with good memories and a good community. Screw whatever anyone says. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it, and this game is good. But it still is the same bare minimum that keeps hurting it. It is evolving, but at a slow pace that keeps hindering it. It doesn't need the best graphics or anything like that, but it needs to start giving players what they want, a real Pokemon experience. They have your Pokemon follow you, but why not all of them and let me pet them? They show that we can use our Pokemon to make a bridge or to break rocks and stuff, but why not use them to move or fly or dig and stuff like that? And increase the options we have. Instead of waiting for that ice monticle that appears to make a bridge, why not use my ice Pokemon in any water body or burn any tree instead of just those thorns? We need this world to start feeling alive and lived in, instead of just programmed AI and random obstacles everywhere. And do you remember the homework that I left you? Remembering that I was going to talk about it again? Well, it is because we all saw the leaks. I'm not going to show them here because I value my channel, but let's stop kidding ourselves. Those leaks happened. There were things already in the code that were scrapped, probably to implement them to the next generation of games. So instead of having them here and then having them again in the bigger game, they prefer to just have them in the bigger game to make it look even better at comparison from this one. Even those mechanics were made for this game. There was code for Pokemon to teleport and help you get through doors and obstacles, as well as a rideable Go-Goat and an ability that activated by having flying Pokemons with you and letting you jump high for a better traversal, showing how this game had amazing ideas that were stopped by the same freaking studio, just to show the next game as a bigger step forward. The value of the Pokemon was going to be even higher than the one we have already in the game. It's showmanship, and I hate it. And the worst part is that if the next game doesn't have all of these things, people are gonna be pissed. And I'm going to be pissed too by a lot, like a lot, because they are there already. If they just cut them out, it's making a lesser product than the one they already had. And I hate that developers live in this kind of awful environment. When I see a game that sucks, I throw shit at it because I decided to do those things. No one forced the Starfield developers to make a garbage empty game that was so boring even modders jumped ship and left the projects unfinished. They developed this game in over 5 years and delivered the same game they have made since 2010 or before. Pokemon is delivering the same experience from 1998 with some changes, but we have the leaks. We have PowerPoint presentation of developers asking for management or pitching ideas like Pokemon Legends Arceus to revive the franchise outside of the mainline boring games. We know they had $13 million to make this game, the budget of an indie film to make an entire AAA game of the biggest franchise in the world in just 3 years, dividing their manpower between this game and the next one, while not being able to touch Pokemon renders because that is Monsters Inc. property. Okay, if you wanna know more about this, watch my story behind Game Freak video. There I talk about why things are the way they are. And this is the reason why, even though, yes, these games are behind the technology and content a game in this day and age should have, I still enjoy them. Not because I am a huge Pokemon fan or because I always want to be right. It is because I have the context and I know how fucking hard it is for developers to make one of these unfinished games. And even despite of all of that, they make fun games. And how they are fighting to give us better games. They are fighting for us. If you don't believe me, you can Google the leaks yourselves and see how even the same team is trying to give us better things, even though Game Freak is trying to smother them to keep them down. And maybe not even Game Freak, maybe it's Nintendo pushing them, because Nintendo doesn't make Pokemon games, it's Game Freak. These developers are fans of the games we like, and they are trying to give us something new, and I'm really excited of what they could build, seeing how well the Legend series is doing. What? You don't believe me? You don't believe they can do something of quality with time and money? Well, here it is. See? There it is, bro. The developers are capable. The company is just keeping them down. And that's fucking sad. Let's just think about the developers too, man. And well, to finish this game is a good game. And a step forward and probably top 3 Pokemon games of all time. But it still lives under the shadow of Legends Arceus. It is good and an evolution, but it lacked the magic of the original. The finding out Pokemon on their natural environment, the crafting of materials, the hard fights, the movement through the world with the freaking rideable HMs, the hard boss fights and the new regional forms, to the fear of Pokemon killing you outside of your safe place. And well, the simple details this game adds. This game is fantastic and gave me a lot of happy giddy moments like a perfect protect or a cool combo or finding what move to use to move through the map, or finally catching that freaking Gible. But nothing came close to how I felt to see from the top of a mountain of the Sinnoh volcano, and from there watching all the promo passes in the field looking north, just like the Pokédex say they do, or using berries to attract a Magikarp toward me to catch it in the early game and have a Gyarados, just like the one you can see flying in the waterfall in the Obsidian Fieldlands. The magic of giving people Pokemon as a side quest and seeing their house or even the village evolve with those Pokemon, it just was a freaking special game that created a new high for Pokemon. And Legend CA is walking that path, but it's just one more step in the ladder. It didn't reach the same heights, sadly, but probably with everything that they got from this game that they would probably add to the next mainline game, we can see this ladder fully form or even surpass what Legends built. And I just want to put a parenthesis in here because when I talk about the magic of finding Pokemon, you could say like, then you didn't like that it was in a city. Why were you like lying to us that you said that you liked the city? The magic of finding Pokemon in natural habitat doesn't have to be caught by the city mechanic. You can see Pokemon like Rattatas stealing from berry stores, or Audinos outside of the Pokemon Center because they want to help the people, Heracross punching trees in the wild area, or the Garbodors eating the trash instead of just like being there. Or you could even just see those Pokemon leave the sludge that you can clean later. It doesn't need to be something like in the wild and in the natural environment. No, we just need to see them acting like Pokemon. Doesn't matter where they are. And this city could help to improve that. Like I said, Pokemon stealing or living in haunted and abandoned houses like the Jengar, stuff like that, man. The city wasn't a bad move. It just was bare minimum implementation. I'm going there again. For example, look at these beautiful animated videos that Pokemon has been uploading of Pokemon acting like animals in houses, Eevee waking you up with the zoomies, or Sprigatito going to your face like a normal cat. Stuff like this, Pokemon acting like normal creatures, it's really, really interesting. And you can do this in the city, man. It's okay, it's just ranting at this point. So, the Legend series has pushed the Pokemon franchise forward more than the mainline games in 25 years, and it's awesome. And this game made a lot of things right. The battle system, the fact that I can see Pokemon flying above me or just hanging trees, or me using my Pokemon moveset to open the path for me, is a good step forward, but one that feels bittersweet, only saved by the amazing cast of characters. No matter what you do, this game feels incomplete. It lacks something, making this game a truly good Pokemon game. I will now give Pokemon Scarlet and Violet a 5 out of 10. Literally the description of mid. I could say like it's kind of the best Pokemon game out there because it's the same as any other. You can do the same as any other game with the addition of the open world and shit like that. Maybe not my favorite Pokemon game, but if we speak it technically, it kind of is. Of the mainline series, because Legends Arceus would be like a 9 out of 10 for me, becoming the new pillar of what Pokemon can be. And Legends CA is a step in the right direction, but it lacked the magic the past Legends game brought to the franchise, landing in a fantastic 7 out of 10. It's a really fun game with a lot of things to do on it, but this feeling that it could have been more never leaves your mind, even if you don't know about the leaks. And don't get me wrong, a 7 isn't bad, like I said, it's above a mid rating. It's just that even if the game is fun, it failed to keep on building the Pokemon franchise, but it made it shine a little bit more brighter. And if you're saying, Laserpan, if this is a 7 for you, what will be a 10? And well, I invite you to see the videos on the screen right now to see what my dream Pokemon game would look like. On the left, you have an animated trailer, and in the right, you have the whole game design dissection with pretty drawings and animations. With nothing more to say, I love Pokemon, the designers deserve better, and Pokemon Red and Green are not the best Pokemon games, nor is Black and White. Grow up and learn to form an opinion. Playing and buying Pokemon games doesn't make you an idiot, but wishing that the franchise you love has a better quality doesn't mean you hate it either. You just want it to grow. This game is freaking fun. Not everything has to be black and white like the internet is telling you. No, this isn't shit and you're not dumb for buying it, and no, you're not smart for liking it or saying that you should buy it. The game is good, but it can be better. The game isn't the best, but it isn't bad. It's great. You don't need to have that stupid mentality. Please learn to fucking think and to not listen to those extremists. Like, what the fuck? If you want to learn, you have to look for people that can make you think, that can make you these conversations that not everything is black or white. For example, I just find the conversation of you jumping from I mean from like Y to F in the story so dumb because they did it knowing what the game will be. They did it so you could fight like the gym leaders and go on, and everyone lost their mind. But I promise you, promise you that if in another timeline the game made you fight from C to A, everyone will be also fucking mad and fuming because, oh, it's so repetitive, I want to do something else, why do you keep me doing these boring battles, I'm super strong and level 100, I just wanna keep doing the story. It's an idiotic take. You just need to think for like a minute and, I don't know, have a game design in mind. Sometimes when people do games it's because they know how to do it and you are the one who play them because you like playing them, but maybe you don't have the ideas of how to make them better, man, and it's alright. And if you want to go from C to A, there is the rank ladder in competitive, man. That's how it actually works. You go from say C to A. Anyway, this game is freaking fun and I'm gonna go back and grind for that A rank in competitive. So see ya and don't be dumb.